Here at Vandenberg Air Force Base in California, NASA is preparing to launch a spacecraft to study the Earth's atmosphere and better understand how climate change affects everyone on the planet. The Orbiting Carbon Observatory, or OCO-2, will be NASA's first dedicated Earth remote sensing satellite to collect space-based global measurements of atmospheric carbon dioxide. It will have the precision, resolution, and coverage needed to better understand the environment on a global basis. The mission to study the atmosphere began to take shape in an Orbital Sciences Corporation facility in Gilbert, Arizona. The company built, integrated, and tested the OCO-2 spacecraft under a contract from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California. After a 560-mile trip from Orbital's facility in Arizona, the satellite arrived at Vandenberg on April 30th. It then was transported to the Astrotech Payload Processing Facility. Inside the clean room, technicians and engineers began uncrating the OCO-2 spacecraft. The 985-pound satellite then was placed on a test fixture to begin weeks of intense pre-launch checkouts to ensure all of its complex systems are working properly. During December of last year, a convoy of trucks began delivering the solid rocket motors to Vandenberg for the United Launch Alliance Delta II rocket that will boost the satellite to orbit. In late March, the Delta's first stage booster arrived at NASA Hangar 836. On March 28th, the Delta II first stage booster was transported to Space Launch Complex 2 and raised to the vertical position and hoisted into the mobile service tower. 2 weeks later, the 3 solid rocket motors were attached to the first stage of the booster. The Delta II second stage then was towed to the base of the mobile service tower at Space Launch Complex 2 on April 15th. The instruments and systems on OCO-2 were thoroughly tested at Astrotech's Vandenberg facility, including the all-important solar arrays. While orbiting the Earth, the arrays will capture the sun's energy and generate 813 watts of power for the spacecraft systems. With a primary structure consisting of a 7-foot-long hexagonal column that is 3 feet wide, OCO-2 is about the size of an office desk. Once final checks were complete at the Vandenberg Astrotech facility, the satellite was enclosed in its transportation canister and prepared for the trip to the launch pad to meet up with the Delta II vehicle. By mid-June, OCO-2 was ready to be placed atop the Delta rocket to begin final preparations for liftoff and its 24-month mission. Once in orbit, OCO-2 will study carbon dioxide levels of the Earth's atmosphere from an orbit 438 miles in space, providing scientists with a better idea of carbon dioxide's impact on global climate change.